it out on the court with the third generation of the Wilson Clash. The Wilson Clash 100 V3 received some updates for 2025, including tweaks to the layup and geometry. The defining feature, called SI3D, increases horizontal bending for enhanced control, while maximizing vertical bending for better pocketing and spin. Additionally, Wilson added hit stabilizer technology for more power and stability. The uniquely plush feel that made previous iterations popular is still present, and a sub 315 swing weight allows for great maneuverability and ease of use.
I'm always excited when a new Clash comes out because I was a big fan of the previous few versions. Now this one feels kind of right in line with those other models. Feel-wise, this one doesn't feel as plush as the original Clash, but a little bit more flexible than the second version. And once I got it on court, it definitely played like a Clash. It has great maneuverability, as Troy would call it, great whippability. I felt like I was able to swing the racket fast, generate a lot of spin, and get good net clearance with my shots. The negative for me here was that it is a bit too light, and so it does get pushed around a bit, and the torsional instability was noticeable with off-center shots. But I did get some of that Clash magic where I would hit a shot and I thought it would go out, but somehow it would land in. So overall, I thought this was a great update to that racket, and I definitely recommend it for advanced juniors or just anyone that wants a very maneuverable racket.
If you were to ask me to sum up playing with the Wilson Clash 100 V3 in one word, it would be fun. This racket just makes tennis playing fun, especially from the baseline. It's easy depth, easy spin. I just found my best tennis when I was just taking it nice and easy, really fluid strokes, not trying to push too hard, and just letting the game go. I had a lot of fun on the baseline. I could be hanging back off the baseline in a defensive position, but the net clearance really helped me get back in a better, more neutral to offensive position on the court. As I moved forward to the net, I really appreciated the maneuverability. I love the comfort and the feel of this racket on mishits. Wasn't too jarring for me. The one downside was that I do tend to hit a flatter ball. So in point situations, if I were pressing and I was trying to hit too flat of a ball and put the ball away, I was missing the ball long. Overall, I can't deny that this racket is super fun to play with, but sometimes I just gotta remember to hit with more topspin.
Like Tiff said, the main takeaway for me with this frame was fun. This Clash version 3 is just an absolute blast to hit with, extremely comfortable, which really sort of encouraged me to lean into my shots and put a little bit more weight behind the ball. And I was dealing with a little bit of wrist sensitivity on this shoot, so it helped to have some additional comfort there as well. And this frame is just really maneuverable, really obedient. I felt like it was, a nice callback to the version 1 of the Clash, but it still had the precision and feel of the version 2. So this feels like a really solid update for me. And I just really enjoyed how the frame played. I noticed myself smiling and laughing more so on court than usual. And overall, just a really fun play test, and I'm excited to keep hitting with this racket.
I have play tested all 3 generations of this Clash 100 and was a big fan of that first generation. Like the previous 2 generations, when I picked this version 3 up and started to hit, I noticed that unique feel. That unique feel is still there from the very first shot. And now when I started rallying from the baseline, it's just, like the other playtester said, a really fun racket to play with. It was really easy to swing, very user-friendly, and generate racket head speed. Now, when I started to play points, that's where I noticed a little bit of issues. For me, I wasn't putting the ball away as much. So the ball was coming back a couple extra times, and I wasn't getting that heaviness to hit through the court. Now, however, I kind of switched up my game plan a little bit and utilized the placement and some spin to kind of create some angles to get some more free points. Now, when I came up to net, one thing I noticed was the lack of stability up in net. The weight is a little bit lighter than what I'm used to, and I had to really focus on kind of squeezing the handle a little bit more and punching it to prevent the racket from twisting in my hand. Now, with like the other 2 previous generations, I mentioned the feel, and I would say that I would be hitting the ball and I couldn't figure out why the ball was landing in the court. But with this one, I got that sensation a little bit less, which wasn't a bad thing for me. That meant it was a little bit better connected feeling to the racket. Overall, I really liked how user-friendly this racket was and was actually a big fan of the more stealth-like cosmetic, but was just missing a little bit of weight on my shots.
After a few weeks playing with this racket, I have to say that I really like it. It felt really maneuverable with 312 grams weight and 31 centimeters balance point. I really appreciate playing with this tool. It delivers great spin potential while also being impressively powerful and precise. What's remarkable about this racket is that, despite its moderate weight and balance, it manages to pack incredible power while maintaining exceptional maneuverability, a trait typically associated with frames more focused on control. This makes it versatile and capable of meeting the needs of a wide variety of players. Personally, I initially struggled to find the right contact point and the right depth in my shots, but then after a few hours and a few test sessions, it became really smooth, and if you guys can find that confidence with this racket, it can become really good for your kind of game.
It was a real pleasure to test this new Wilson Clash 100 V3. We can see that they removed the red color, really famous for this silo, with a full black and some piece of orange. It gave me a fresh vibe. I really like it. On the court, especially from the baseline, the Clash 100 V3 is perfect for agile defense, generating spin, and hitting winners. It also proves highly maneuverability from technical shots like slices or passing shots. On forehands, I felt a lot of stability when it came to finishing the point, delivering great feedback and excellent spin potential. On backhands, I experienced good sensation with slices and also on attacking shots, leading up to net approaches. At the net, it was incredibly quick, allowing me to react much faster when my opponent tried to put me under pressure. On low volleys, I notified good control and excellent touch. On serve, I found precise zones with enough safety and excellent angles, giving me a significant advantage in setting up the point. On second serves, I didn't take too many risks, opting for a kick ball to give myself time in the rally. On return, the new Wilson Clash 100 V3 offers access to a wide range of shots, allowing me to generate slices, top spins, or flight strike with ease. To conclude, I recommend this racket to beginners, intermediate and advanced players looking for a versatile racket that combines power with a very pleasant feel. For this test, we strung up the Wilson Clash 100 V3 with the Luxillan Element IR and the Luxillan Eco Spin at 25 kilos or 52 pounds. If you want more information about this racket or any others, please visit Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only. Thanks for watching.